The question is the following. Is there any formula of light on how to maintain the balance between the divine and the everyday life?
I have no such formula. I do not have a formula for maintaining this balance.
But isn't this the main thing that we have to do in this life?
Well, it can be achieved, but it has to be achieved by means of everyday work. There is such a law, the law of tithing. Do you know about it?
No, I don't.
Well, in the past, people used to pay tithes.
Yes, the 1/10 part that should be paid.
Yes, if let's say I earn 1,000 euros, that means that I should give 100 to God.
To give it to the church, you mean?
Well, yes, that is when you look at it from the material point of view and convert it all to money. It is also possible to give 1/10 of your time to God. Since there are 24 hours in a day, then 1/10 is about 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours each day should be devoted to God. Later, they came up with if you can't pray by yourself, you can give some money to a monastery and they will pray for you. But it's cunning. If you're sure that the money that you give will be used properly, then this makes sense. But you yourself can also spend 2.5 hours performing spiritual practices every day and thus maintain yourself
on a proper level.
Yes, but you should do it every day. For example, when you ride a bicycle up into the mountains, you need to pedal all the time.
Right.
Otherwise, if you stop pedaling, you will roll downhill, right?
Right.
So every day, for 2.5 hours, you are to give tithe to God by means of spiritual practice, every day. However, 2.5 hours may not be realistic for you right away. When you begin to engage in spiritual practice, you are unlikely to be able to spend 2.5 hours doing them. Otherwise, imagine as if a person were a pot with mud in it. When you start pouring clean water in it, the mud begins to rise up and out of the pot. It used to lie on the bottom of the pot, and nothing disturbed it. But all at once, the divine energy begins to pour in. What's prayer? If we do spiritual practices in the right way, the divine energy descends. We attract it into our world. And when we have attracted too much of it, our bodies may fail to handle such an abundance of the divine energy. And then something may happen, either with our mental health or our bodies, which may begin to ache. You see? That is why one should perform spiritual practices very, very carefully, starting with 5 minutes a day, then 10 minutes.
We can do it in another way. Is it enough that we think in the right way? Help other people realize this principle, this good principle in life in some way. Is it also considered service and the tithe that we pay?
It is called karma yoga. That is when we selflessly do good deeds for other people.
Here we go. We found the formula. We found it, right? And as far as I can understand, when we read the dictations, something happens within our souls.
One of the forms of spiritual practice is the reading of sacred texts. That is why reading spiritual books, proper spiritual books, is a spiritual practice as well. More so, it's one of the most important ones.
So this helps too. And in addition, if you do something good in life, everything will be fine.
Yes.
So we have found the formula.